Andre Onana has been slammed by Garth Crooks as not being on the same planet as iconic Manchester United goalkeepers of the past. Onana, 27, has endured a sticky start to his Man United career with a number of high-profile mistakes since moving to the club for £47 million from Inter Milan. Another one followed on Saturday against Brentford, with Matthias Jensen's tame shot squirming under Onana as he failed to have a strong enough wrist to prevent the ball from going in. Onana and co. were eventually bailed out by two injury-time goals from super sub Scott McTominay. However, BBC pundit Crooks was in no mood to mince his words when it came to Onana. Writing in his Team of the Week, Crooks awarded McTominay a place before blasting Onana. Crooks compared Onana to United greats of the past and declared he was not on their planet. He said, "It's hard enough trying to win matches when your goalkeeper is in good form. But when he's making errors almost on a weekly basis, it makes life very difficult for all concerned. Especially when you've had Peter Schmeichel, Edwin van der Sar, and David de Gea keeping goal for you during the past 20 years, it becomes very conspicuous when you have a goalkeeper who is not in their class. In fact, Andre Onana is not even on their planet. Since the arrival of the Manchester United keeper, he's been either smashing into center forwards, letting the ball slip through his fingers, or, as was the case against Brentford, beaten by a shot a schoolboy would have been expected to save. The last-minute comeback ensured Erik ten Hag's side remained in the top half of the Premier League going into the second international break of the season. The Red Devils face Sheffield United on their return before hosting Manchester City. On the other side, Erik ten Hag might be able to breathe easier after Man United's breakneck victory. But the Red Devils' chronic injury list suggests there's no end in sight to the crisis at Old Trafford. For more than 90 minutes at Old Trafford, this looked like being a painfully familiar story for Manchester United. Another defeat, another limp performance, and another stumble into full-blown crisis. Then Scott McTominay, of all people, climbed off the bench to save the day with two injury-time goals to snatch a 2-1 win over Brentford as despair inside this grand old stadium turned to utter delirium. It means Erik ten Hag can breathe a little easier during the international break. Again and again. Former Manchester United captain Harry Maguire has said, "The season starts now," after United's comeback victory against Brentford. United dramatically won the game thanks to two stoppage-time goals from Scott McTominay in the dying embers of the game. Maguire himself had somewhat of a return to form and assisted McTominay's second. He said after the game, "We've not had the results that we, as a club, demand. Like I said, I think the season must start now. This win against Brentford must be a turning point for us all, as individuals and as a club. We must kick on from this." Meanwhile, Raphael Varane is out of Manchester United's Premier League home fixture against Brentford. Club sources have stressed Varane is not injured, but merely out with a minor issue. United manager Erik ten Hag said Varane would have been fine to play if he had a couple more days' rest, but the game has come too soon for the defender. Club sources have stressed Varane is not injured but merely out with a minor issue. So, Harry Maguire has been selected at centre-half for his first Premier League start since May, alongside the recalled Johnny Evans. The pair were Leicester City's first-choice partnership 5 years ago. The absence of the injury-prone Varane will raise questions about his durability for the remainder of the season. Varane, 30, has already missed 3 matches this season after he came off at half-time in the 3-2 win over Nottingham Forest on August 26th. The 30-year-old was out for 15 games last season through 2 separate injuries, and Varane was unavailable for 16 games in 2021-22 through injuries and ailments. United intend to recruit a new center-back next year, with Victor Lindelof technically into the final year of his contract, and Maguire likely to be sold in 2024. On the other side, David Beckham has paid tribute to Sir Alex Ferguson's wife, Lady Cathy Ferguson. Lady Cathy died on Friday at the age of 84. Beckham said, "My deepest condolences to the boss. Cathy was by his side for many, many years, giving him the strength he needed throughout his life and career. It's a very sad moment. We send him our love. He was an incredible person. We admired the boss, but we also admired Cathy." On the other side, Gary Neville predicts that Manchester United will not finish in the top 5 this season after Red Devils' poor start. As former fullback claims Erik ten Hag's side have been way off it. The Red Devils currently sit 10th, again and again. Beckham answers Sheikh Jassim question. I think he's Ten Hag a good coach, Beckham told Sky Sports. It is a difficult time at the moment, but there's a lot of noise around the club at the moment, so it can't be easy for him. We all want that noise to go away. We all want a decision to be made for the club, for the fans, for the players, and for the manager as well, because we are one of, if not the biggest club in the world. We want stability, and I think that's the most important thing. We all have our own favorites of who we feel needs to run the club and look after the club and take the club back to where it belongs. But in our eyes, in the fans' eyes, we're number one, and we want to be back at the top. I believe I know the right people to do that. Asked if this was Sheikh Jassim, Beckham responded with a wry smile. We'll see. Meanwhile, Harry Maguire has delivered an honest assessment on Man Utd's start to the current campaign. That was a really important win. Obviously, it has been a difficult time for us at the start of this season, he told Sky Sports. We've not had the results that we, as a club, demand. Like I said, I think the season must start now. This must be a turning point for us all, as individuals and as a club. We must kick on from this. So here there are Unit's next 6 match after international break. October 21st, United will play with Sheffield United away at 8 p.m. October 29th, United versus Man City home ground at 3:30 p.m. November 4th, United will play against Fulham away at 12:30 p.m. November 11th, United versus Luton Town home ground at 3 p.m. November 25th, United versus Everton away at 3 p.m. December 2nd, United will play with Newcastle away at 3 p.m. On the other side, Juventus plan to hand Jadon Sancho an escape route from Old Trafford and could turn it into a permanent £60 million deal next summer. The Italians are keen to sign the dumped Manchester United winger on loan in January before a potential full-time move at the end of the season. Keep up to date with all the latest Man United transfer news and updates as we enter the season's second international break. So, Manchester United players are going into the international break with some optimism after beating Brentford 2-1 at Old Trafford on Saturday. As Scott McTominay was the hero of the day, scoring twice in added time to turn a 1-0 defeat into a 2-1 win. Pressure has been building on United over the last few weeks, but 3 points has somewhat eased the frustration. Again and again. Benfica midfielder João Neves has become a target for Man United, according to reports. Portuguese outlet Jornal de Noticias claim the Red Devils are in the hunt for the talented youngster. However, they face competition for the 18-year-old from Juventus. Neves is represented by super agent Jorge Mendes. On the other side, Jose Maria Jimenez has become a primary defensive target for Man United, according to reports. Spanish outlet National say the Red Devils are considering a £35 million move for the Atletico Madrid center-back. Jimenez has just signed a new deal with the La Liga club. However, that hasn't deterred United, who believe they could land the defender next summer.